Hi there, so in this tutorial I'm going to show one of the most basic forms of interaction you can do on your normal video, and that is to add chapter points. So chapter points, as you'd imagine, very similar to a book. You can break a video out into different segments and then a user can navigate to a specific chapter instantly using a chapter menu. So you'll notice down here on the bottom toolbar you've got this little figure here called Add Chapter. Simply select that and you can give your chapter a name. So I'm just going to call this 30 Practical Examples, and then simply select Done. It will save that chapter point there. If I scroll further along to the timeline, let's call this one Phone for instance. Again, add the chapter point and then simply give it a name, Phone, and then hit Done. And let's add one more just to be safe. We'll call this Analytics. So again, hit the Add Chapter button and give it a name, and hit Done. So we've got 3 different chapter points in our video. However, that's not much use to the user unless you actually add a chapter menu. So again, down here on the bottom toolbar, you'll notice this icon here called Add Chapter Menu. Select that and it will then place a chapter menu on your video so that a user can jump to any one of these chapter points that you've already added on your video. And it's as simple as that. That's a very basic run through of how to add a chapter menu to your video. You've also got a few options with your chapter menu. If you go to the edit panel within the chapter menu and then select more, you'll notice a lot of different options here. So firstly, the start time, you can specify what time this chapter menu comes in. I'm going to leave it always on because it kind of makes sense to have a chapter menu that's always there. If you took the time and effort to create chapter points within your video, there's probably very few user cases where you don't want the chapter menu to be evident straight away, so I'm just going to tick this option here and then hit submit. You can also play around with where the chapter menu appears. So right now we have it in the top left hand column. I can change the position to the top right or bottom left, whatever works for you. I'm going to move it back to the top left because that's usually where the user's eye gets drawn to first of all. And you've also got a range of styles and custom options here. So if I select this option here, we've got one column option. You can also change it to adaptive, which makes the chapter menu full screen, as you can see here. For me, having an adaptive menu kind of breaks the flow of a video. You kind of want the chapter menu to be unobtrusive, so I normally leave that to one column, but the option's there should you need it. And finally, you've got the initial state. So when a viewer first navigates to this video, do you want the initial state to be collapsed or expanded? So if you select expanded, when the viewer navigates to the video, this will already be opened up for the user. Again, I like to keep it collapsed and give the user the option to change that should they wish. That's pretty much it for this tutorial. It's a quick run through of how chapter menus work. It's particularly useful if you've already got a lot of video content that you want to instantly allow the user to jump to specific parts of the video, and I definitely recommend implementing this as a first tool just to get used to using how the HapYak interface works. Hopefully that's been useful. If you've got any questions around how this works, be sure to drop me a comment in the comment box below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.